Hi, Chair Powell. I wanted to ask about the supplementary leverage ratio. There's been a lot of talk about what you all are going to do this month, which I'm happy to hear an update if you have one. But just sort of more broadly, do you think long term that the leverage ratio poses problems for implementing monetary policy at a time when the reserve supply is going to remain large? And if so, do you think that changes to the leverage ratio, including the SLR, are the way to deal with that problem?
Victoria, we'll have something to announce on that in coming days, and I'm not going to expound upon your questions. Why don't you ask another question if you'd like to, because that one I'm just going to say that we're something in coming days.
Sure. Okay. Well, then I'll ask about unemployment. There's the unemployment rate is you all have projections for the U6 rate, but you've also been, really emphasizing the fact that that's not the only thing that you all are looking at. You're also looking at labor force participation and things like that. So are you all looking at ways of maybe adding to how you're projecting the unemployment rate to the summary of economic projections?
Well, let me say, as we say in our statement on longer run goals and monetary policy strategy, we look to a range of indicators on labor market. We never only looked at the unemployment rate, which is the only indicator of labor market outcomes that's in the SEP. We look at a very broad range. You hear us talk all the time about participation, about employment to population, which is the combination of the two, about different measures of unemployment. So it's wages, it's the job flows, it's all of those things they go into an assessment disparities of various groups. All that goes into an assessment of maximum employment. The trying to incorporate all of that into the summary of economic projections would not be practical. Obviously the thing that we do include is just the unemployment rate, and that's a very insufficient statistic. So it doesn't include a lot of other things that we do look at. And I wouldn't want to say that we're looking to include the other dozen things that we look at into the SEP, but from time to time we do look at adding different things. But I would just say the SEP it's a summary. It's one device. It's not going to include all of the things that we look at. I think the things that we look at. We talk about them all the time. So we're not actually looking actively at significantly broadening those indicators in the SEP right now.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.